Hello, everyone. My name is Emese Dobos, and I will be the moderator of this panel. And it's an honor that I can introduce you Igor Grosaft, who is the owner of Novesta. That's an amazing heritage shoe brand, and its history dates back to 1939. And today, Jakub Veselsky is also here with us, who is a co-founder of Freshlabels, and you must have heard about this really cool fashion and lifestyle store. So my first question, if you don't mind, just jump into the middle of the topics, because we have so many things to discuss today. So during the past few years, we have witnessed unprecedented changes and disruption based in every aspect of our life, including business and structure as well. And what was the most important takeaways, the most valuable experiences for you that you have learned from the past 2 years? Who wanna start?
Yeah, I can start, no problem. I like the question about the learnings, because I think for us, probably as much as for most of us globally, it was a lot about learnings last 2 years. When I think about it, it's the most important thing. I believe that is about all that I have to call it the crap that we're going through, is that you really need to keep the positive mindset, and that's probably the only thing that can pull you off any kind of trouble. And for us, it was a lot of trouble, but overall, we were still trying to be positive and think about the Freshlabels of the future. And during the pandemic, we started our expansion into European countries, mainly Western European, with the main focus to Germany, which was very successful, we can say. And also, we kind of even more focused on the things that are basic for us, and that's design overall, of the products, and then sustainable aspect of the products, of the brands that we represent, or that we offer to our customers. And this is something that was really something that we were thinking about all the time, and thinking how to push this further. And even like from the other perspective, it was the customer who is we call him urban traveler, who is pretty much someone who spends his time actively, always on the go, somewhere from work to school to back to work, or then to pub for a beer, and on the weekends he travels to another city or going out to some forest and spends his time actively. And we want to be the best partner for this kind of people. So this was something that we were trying to focus on, and not to focus on the bad things. So what we want to do is really focus on that, and we were trying to polish our touch points that we have with the customer, either if it's the stores, or if it's the emails that they're getting, and we also had to cut down some big brands that we were selling in the past. So some of the biggest names, we decided that it's not in line with our strategy, and we just decided to cut it, even though it was a huge gap in our turnover. And also it brought a huge challenge and opportunity to repair things that were not perfect, and the crisis somehow made them much more visible. So it was for us a lot about costs, especially with the people, with the amount of employees and effectivity about overall. We traded a lot of returns that we have from the online store, which is super important topic. We worked on analytics to be able to work with campaigns better. And we also realized that it's not about doing things nice, what we always liked, but thanks to the crisis, we found out that it's more about the game of business, which is not just nice things, but sometimes you really have to do some hard decisions. And for us, it was hard decisions when we had to close some stores. and dismissed some employees for sure, our friends, and also narrowing the brand portfolio from brands that we liked, but they were not performing. So that's what we did during the time. It was a lot more, but that's I think would be the approach. Focus for the brighter future.
And what about you, Igor?
Yeah, it was very challenging, but I would use a proverb of my friend from Canada who said, "Hey, don't panic today if you can panic tomorrow." So we didn't panic.
That's good.
We stay focused. We evolved with the situation. We were ready to take a hit, and actually we got some hits. We lost the United States as a market. We lost Australia. But then we had a good thing on our side, that is flexibility. We produce our products in our own factories. We were not dependent on some subcontractors and so on, and failing logistic. So we were able to secure whatever we needed to secure for the customers, and eventually we managed to grow in the UK, Japan, South Korea, and China, which helped us in the first months, especially with our European customers, who for some of them just went silent. So first 3 months were very tough. And if I look back, and if somebody would tell me that we're going to come out like we came out, then I would be clapping my hands. So it was a lot of stress, lots of gray hair, but somehow we pulled it out.
And by the way, what's your absolutely personal definition of success? Has it changed from the time when you just stepped into business and where you are at now?
I'm not really saying that we are a success, because of course we would like to see more happy customers, better growth. But it taught me a lesson that you cannot take things for granted. So as I said, we had some unexpected surprises. But on the other hand, then whoever from the partners who we needed to really come up and collaborate, it worked out. So I think strong relationships helped us to save it. But success, I don't know. Right now, if somebody tells me, what are your problems? I said, I don't see any problems. I see a series of catastrophes. And in a catastrophe, you don't really think too much about success. You want to,
That's right.
Keep your head above the water and just keep paddling and, look for birds on the sky that will tell you that there is a land coming. So
it's more about survival.
Nowadays. Now we are back to, let's say, a little bit more normal business. And let's hope that we have this, behind us.
Yeah, success for me, I would say that we were always saying that for us important is not the target, but more the journey, and that's what people very often say, and it's very popular. But we were coming from that way. But I would say that during the crisis, as you have to focus more and more on the priorities and really realize that it's not always fun. I think that I changed a little bit my vision into, it's not just about the journey, but it must be a nice journey, but it needs to have a clear goal, and you have to define it, even though it's hard sometimes maybe, but it must be something really specific in the future in front of you, not just some cloud of nice things that will happen, because then it disrupts you from the focus, and the focus is really the key, I think. So, yeah.
And you have mentioned the urban travelers, and how we dress up and how we accessorize tells basically everything about our lifestyle and values. And my next question is definitely for you, Jakub. But what are the most significant changes in terms of lifestyle that you have witnessed at Freshlabels? Because Freshlabels is a significant player on the market for more than 15 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that like for us, if I I can talk about our vision and also about the market. And I think that we never wanted to chase the market. Somehow we always were trying to do what we like and what we believe in. And for us, we personally went through some change, and it was that we since the beginning, we were always aiming to bring change into something that we're doing. So at the beginning, it was the overall goal for Freshlabels was to improve the taste of Czech and Slovak people, because at that time it was all gray and people did not know how to dress up and so on. And we felt like, okay, we want to move this up, because if the people live in nice surroundings, they come up with nice ideas, and all life we believe is better. But over the time, it developed into our current focus that is much more important, I think, and it is to inspire people to think about their purchases more, and bringing the responsibility into the fashion and the e-commerce business overall, because we believe that it's a huge challenge for all the mankind, pretty much, and we want to be part of it. And so our goal at the moment is clear, and it's to offer more sustainable, also more in terms of numbers, but also more sustainable options. And I think that co-founder of Nanushka mentioned that they will not be a 100% sustainable brand. I think that everybody knows that we like most of us will not be shortly, and the same applies to us. But we definitely will try, and we'll fight for that. So it's about this, and I think that we don't see fashion as a show off. Definitely, all the word for us is a little complicated, and we don't see it as just some way how to present our wealth, or I don't know, something. But it's much more about it's an option for people to express your visions and opinions about things. And in our case, it is being positive towards our surroundings, and that's we believe that this possible through if you want to call it fashion, that's okay, but it's more like all the products that you're buying, and that's about a lot about Freshlabels, because Freshlabels is not like just a fashion store, but it's like a lifestyle platform, and it is about everything you spend your money for, actually. So that will be a kind of change that we went through, and I believe that the market is following this as well. So I believe in this brighter future in this.
My next question is for you, Igor. So heritage and tradition are in absolutely the DNA of Novesta, and it's extremely strong among the whole region as well. And how can we make it cool?
Do you want to make it cool?
Yeah, definitely. That's my plan.
Well, it also depends what kind of cool. It could be artificial coolness, which we don't want to go that direction. You can have it with lots of money and lots of superficial marketing and so on and so on. 10 years back, sustainable heritage was a burden. That was not a good point for a brand to grow globally, because it was mostly about price and the distribution network and so on and so on. I think our coolness is in preserving our tradition. So we are focusing on not losing this. We are, of course, looking at different trends. We are trying to bring a new type of sneaker every year. But at the same time, we try not to undermine our general message to the public, which helped us to grow in a very natural way. So I think that the sustainable heritage is our coolness. And if we continue in that, I think we'll be on the good path.
So I think I can say that both Freshlabels and Novesta operates in several countries, and I did get the chance to get to know better a lot of local designers. And sometimes I feel that there are two different kind of strategies from them. The first is when they are looking for like global recognition and they want to speak to basically everyone in the world. And the other one is when they really want to focus on a local lawyer customer group. So what do you think? Can we say that one strategy is better than the other, or it only depends on the product or the brand?
I would say that Novesta's situation is a little bit specific because, as I said, we are also producers. For us, very small. Czech market is very small, and the company went through some very rough times in the 90s. I was not there then, but in early 90s, when I speak about the times after the communism, those were huge companies with thousands of employees, tens of stores located in the perfect locations, and everything generally went almost bust. So we saved the company at the very last moment. So we said we have to go differently. We don't have unlimited resources. So we said, okay, let's keep the local markets alive. Let's supply them with the products that people are used to. But for us to go internationally, that was a must. We decided to go in a financially, let's say, responsible way. So we said, okay, let's build it from the independent boutiques with buyers that can understand where we come from. That a brand coming from Slovakia is not a UFO thing, and for some of them it was something very new. So we said, okay, let's go step by step. We were very lucky with certain markets that I never imagined that we would be successful, especially South Korea and Japan. And generally, those guys actually showed us a different way that we had in mind to grow. So step by step, store by store, pick a good store, pick a good design collaboration with strong brands, and then people will start to realize that there is a brand from Slovakia who can make different things.
Yes, I was.
The floor is yours.
I
if
like
you want
the
to
story,
add something.
so keep listening. Yeah, for us, the question is between hype and local approach. Yeah, I think based on what I was talking about before, it's clear that we don't believe in hype, and we want to do our own thing, which is constant and has got some direction, and it's coming out of our own souls, let's say, or our own lives. And so we definitely don't go for hypes. But when it comes to the local aspect of the business, it is like if you look at it from the business perspective, it is tricky because if you want to change something, and we were talking about that's one of our goals. It is like you can start local, and probably not everyone, but some companies do, and we did, and it is super fun. It's nice, but you cannot stay local. At some point of time, you have to evolve, at least in your thinking, and our visions are like transferable. So we believe that this it needs to be much further than we came from to change something, really. So that's really important for us not to stay local in this perspective, but in the same time, we believe that it is really good that and we're proud of our Czech and our Central European heritage. So we at the same time want to stay local, and we want to support local brands and stay in our countries, and not to look like we are a Western European store, because we are not, and we are Czech, and We're from a small city in the Czech and in Czech Republic, and that's what we are proud of. So in this way, we want to stay local in our heads, but with the visions we have and with the products we want to sell, we definitely want to be. We don't want to be local because it would be narrowing our ideas. So yeah.
And what do you think? Is Central European fashion a thing? So can we say that there are certain characteristics of the region's creatives or the region's market?
Well, Bratislava is definitely not a fashion capital, that we can say quite for sure.
Budapest too.
Budapest too. Again, I go back probably 10 years when I went to the Las Vegas trade show. And a guy that was next to me in the exhibition booth, he looked at it and said, "Well, it's all nice, but why are you even trying?" So that was brutal. But since then, I think Central and Eastern European designers are grabbing an attention on the markets. Of course, we will be looked down at a little bit, especially from fashion capitals. But I think with globalization of the world, with e-commerce, I think there are customers that are discovering that Central and Eastern Europe has something to offer. Surprisingly, the least effort to convince the customer that we are a fashion brand. We had that in Japan and South Korea. That was quickest to adapt what we were offering. And then it was followed by the UK, and then it was followed by some other countries that we had. With the US, there's lots of logistic issues, customs, duties, and so on and so on. So that makes harder. But we said, okay, if we concentrate on the countries of EU and Southeast Asia, we'll be just fine. So it really depends from market to market. It really depends if the local markets if the customers are open-minded or if they just follow blindly some trends. So it's specific, really. Japan wants something different than South Korea. UK wants something different than Germany, and so on and so on. So that's why we also have 3 different designer teams, just to adjust it to the taste of the client.
Yeah. For me or for us, I definitely think that our specific in again this area is that we are really hardworking nations, maybe compared to some more sunny areas of Europe. We are super innovative and kind of can gain probably from the past communism era, because we are kind of more hungry than hungry, starved, than people in Western Europe, where their life is quite nice and they have a lot of assets and everything. But in the Eastern Europe, we kind of still need to fight for it. So that's definitely cool, and we have many brands that are really success, like for example Novesta or Nehera or Nanuška, or even some smaller brands from Czech Republic that are friends of ours, like Odivy, you may know, and Buffett from Slovakia, and Brazi backpack makers, and Vasky shoes, and Tilak, that's a great outdoor brand, also from Czech Republic. So these are all pretty cool brands. But what I feel is that us as a when I'm talking about as from the view of like Central Eastern Europe, I'm missing kind of identity. Because if you say Scandinavian fashion, everybody has some vision immediately.
That's right.
When you say South European fashion, like Italian, Spanish, you also have a vision. But if you say Eastern European fashion, nothing comes to my mind. And I think that it's about that. We should find some heritage that we are actually proud of, or at least we should start to work on something to become proud of. Because in our past, like before the 30 years was another 40 years, which we are not proud of. But maybe before that, we can find a lot. And I think that it's really important that we would, for example, like restore the production capacities, because we still have a lot to offer, because we have this heritage from before the communist regimes, that there were lots of handcraft makers of different kinds of products, like bata in Czech Republic, and in Poland, lots of fabrics and this kind of things. So if we would focus on quality in the production, we could become a good quality for a really good price. And within Europe, with a short transport radius, which is super important for the sustainable approach to fashion. So that could probably be something that could bring our identity or something like that. There could be some way. And also, I think that it's super important if they, and I think there was some panel about the education in fashion. From my experience, it would be super if the fashion designers at the universities got much more education about the business part of the fashion. At least I have this experience in the Czech Republic, because the people, they are great creatives, but they cannot see the future, what it will bring for them if they want to go to the market and really start selling something. And it is sometimes really difficult to explain how the world works. And I think that if they would teach them at the universities already, the start for them would be much easier and probably more successful.
That's right. And we still have a few minutes for questions. So I checked the link that maybe we get a few questions. Yes, so we get a question that how can we develop the business acumen of young fashion designers?
How can we develop?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So what would be your advice for young fashion designers from the region, for example, to be successful? For example, if they are just leaving a fashion school or college.
Yeah, I may follow on what I was just saying. I think it's really a lot about creating their own idea, to become true to themselves, and then to before they produce everything, or before they jump into the business, they should try to talk to people who are actually active in the business part. And I think, again, Manushka guy was talking about it. It's not just about the creativity, but it's also about the business side. And these two things need to work together. And if you are good just in one of those, you will hardly succeed. So this would be my advice.
Igor, what would be your advice?
The freshly graduates, it's like the young musicians. So they are poor and they work long hours. That's the reality, I think. But I don't know, it's so super competitive, and it's so easy to burn out for designers because the pressure is heavy. So they have to be patient. They have to be patient, and if the good luck will come, I think. But frankly, I admire them a lot, because it's a tough job. It's a tough job to come up with something new twice a year at least. So it's not a stable job where you can come and say, okay, I have done this and now I can go home. It's not like that. So I wish a good luck to everyone who comes out of the school and wants to become a designer. But just hard work and a good luck.
That's right. So be hardworking and be patient. Unfortunately, we ran out of time, but thank you so much for being with us today. And I think this conversation was truly inspiring, and I hope we will have the chance to continue and do all the best for you. And I hope we will see you soon, each other physically, hopefully.
Thank you, guys. And I just have to, I want to thank you to everybody who organized it, because it's not an easy task and you did a wonderful job. So.
Yeah, agree. Looks perfect, and it was a pleasure to join you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.